The Vegas Golden Knights have not been playing up to expectations as of late, and with Mark Stone's injury likely being season ending, it does not seem to be posing well for the remainder of the year, and it's going to put a lot of pressure on the remainder of the team, and especially Jack Eichel. And that's why I think it's time for Jack Eichel to take that step up and become that number one option for the Vegas Golden Knights. So if you enjoy this content, please like and subscribe. It truly means the world to me. But let's not waste any more of your time. Let's go and get right into things. As mentioned, the Vegas Golden Knights, as of late, have not been playing to the expectations that they put on themselves through the start of the year. They are now 5 of 9 through the last 13 games, well below 500 through those last games, and just haven't been playing the way that we saw for a good portion of the year. And with Mark Stone's injury occurring, of course, on January 12th, since that point, this team has dramatically begun to fall off. And I think that Stone's injury is the prime opportunity for Jack Eichel to really show what he's about with this team. The Vegas Golden Knights took a huge risk trading for Jack Eichel last year, and he was brought to this team to be the 1A and 1B to Mark Stone and really get this team working well. But although he has played very good, he's also been very consistent, had stretches where he does amazing and stretches where he does very poor, and as of late, he has sadly been on the latter of that statement and just really needs to get some stuff going. So as mentioned, Mark Stone had to go through surgery after an injury that happened on January 12th and likely will miss the entire remainder of the regular season, and potentially, if the Vegas Golden Knights are to remain in the playoff hunt, could miss some time in the playoffs as well. And Jack Eichel just really needs to step up right now. And although not everything is on Jack Eichel, he is a huge part of this team. So let's cover some of Jack Eichel's stats. So Eichel has only played in 39 games of, I believe, like 52 games that the Vegas Golden Knights have played so far this year. He's only played in 39. So a decent chunk of games he has played in, but he's still missed a fair share as well, missing 13 games so far this year. Certainly, you want to see that number get a little bit better, but still not horrible. It's not like he's in the 20s or anything. He's just right outside the edge of 40s, so pretty decent there. And currently, with 34 points, if that was pushed through the remainder of a full 82-game season, he would be on the averaging of 94 points in a season. That is a very, very good number. I mean, an extremely good number to be sitting at that range, somewhere in the 90s. And I think I did my math right on that, but even if he's sitting in the 80s, 90s, right around, a very, very solid elite level of play. And even in some of those games, he wasn't even full go. He was dealing with injuries. He was taken out early, stuff like that. So it's likely that if he were to play through the remainder of the season, those numbers would go up. Now he has 15 goals as well as 19 assists and a 10.6 shot percentage. All those, are pretty decent, especially for the amount of games that he has played so far this year. But the thing is, after Mark Stone's injury and after the new year began, where the Vegas Golden Knights started to struggle, it seems like Jack Eichel also began to struggle heavily. He has had 6 straight games now without a single point, 0 points for the past 6 games. Definitely not something that you want to see occurring, especially from who now is your number one option on your team. 6 straight games without a point. Now, everyone's going to go through cold spells. Everyone is going to go through stretches where they're not able to get goals, not able to get assists, or even anything at all for the team, as long as you're still productive, which, maybe he hasn't been as of late. It seems like he's not even put in the same position that he normally is and putting himself in a chance to get goals. The past 6 without a single point is definitely not something good to see. And the Rangers stats also show no good signs, really. I mean, he's only had 2 points through the last 10 games, with one of them being a goal and one of them being assist. 2 through the last 10. And the last time that Jack Eichel had a multi-point performance was all the way back on January 5th against the Pittsburgh Penguins. It was the last time he had a multiple-point performance. He had 3 points in that game, but it's been a long while since he's been able to string together any stretch of games with a point, or any games where he's had more than one of said stat. It's been a real struggle. And Eichel, he's only had 5 points since the new year has begun. Through the last 13 games, he's had a total of 5 points. Once again, that is not a good number at all. That puts you somewhere in the realm of about 30 to 35 points through the entirety of a season if you played all 82 games. That is a really bad number. I mean, that's like a third-line number. Second-line number, I'd honestly say more of a third-line number to put up 34 points through that stretch. So he needs to figure out a way to turn it around and hopefully turn it around quickly. He needs to get out of this stretch. And it's okay to have cold spells, but you can't linger in that for anywhere from 50. I mean, if he hits 15 games, or 20 games without breaking over 10, that's really, really bad. And that's no longer a cold spell, but just straight up just bad performance, bad play through that time. And I know a lot of Jack Eichel's career, it's been a lot of questions of who do you need to pair with him to make everything work, because he has been inconsistent. But when you're in a top-level guy that you're using big-time draft picks on, like the Buffalo Sabres did when they did draft him, as well as using picks and players to trade for a guy that's supposed to be that big-time option for you, and he's not performing, that's not good. He should be what makes the rest of the team, the rest of his line mates better, not needs guys to help him perform at the level that his expectations are. So you need to see that step up a little bit. Since Mark Stone's injury, Eichel has only had one singular point since January 12th. About 8-9 games in that time period, I believe so. I think it's 9 games since January 12th, including, of course, Predators game that happened last night. Thankfully, Vegas was able to break their losing stretch right there. Eichel has had 1 point through the past 9 games here, and it came against the Devils, I believe, being an assist in a 3-2 loss to the Red Wings. Sorry, not the Devils, to the Red Wings. One singular assist in the past 9 games. That is just horrible. You see how much of a drop-off not only Mark Stone has for the play of the entire team with a long stretch of poor performances and losing games that you probably shouldn't be, but also especially for Jack Eichel. They have not been performing, especially Eichel, has not been performing to expectations since Mark Stone's injury. And that really shows what the captain, what Stoner can do for you, but you're not likely getting him back, so you need to figure this out now. So Eichel was brought to the team to be 1A, 1B, and now that Mark Stone's out, he is the number one option, and there's no reason he shouldn't be. Quick thing here, what will it take for Eichel to get back on track? That's kind of the question. First, I think he needs to get some more shots. We've seen his shot numbers kind of come down. He's had, 2 shots in the game, less than 5 multiple times through the last stretch here. If we can get him some more shots, if we can get him going towards the net more, whether that's deflections, that's probably the easiest way to get back on track. If your shots aren't going in, whether you're missing the net or they're just not going where you want or the goalie's stopping them, the best way to quickly get back on track and get yourself feeling a little bit better is a deflection. The goalie's perfectly expecting the puck to go right here. He's eyeballing it. He's ready with his mitt, whether it's left, right, or his stick hand. However it may be, he's fully prepared for it. You get your stick up, you bat it down, you bat it up, whatever it may be, you deflect it. He's not going to be ready for that. That's a great way to get your goal in and just get something rolling for you. I think that's what Eichel needs to be doing. Get a little bit more around the net. Yes, he has a good shot, wrist shot, slap shot. He can get it from, good distance from the net, but just get it rolling. Be a little bit closer to net, Get a goal here where it's a deflection. Get a goal where you're just shoving your stick in. You got a loose puck after a rebound. You're just trying to get it in. Find a way to get the first goal, and the rest of it's going to come to you as the season and this games progress. You'll get back to that level you need to be. And for assists, just get in transition a little bit more. That was a big part of Vegas Golden Knights, success through pretty much ever since they even entered the league, but especially the past 2 years. Transition. They've been one of the best in the entire league. They're inside the blue line, they're not as great as they are in transition. If you can get in transition a little bit more, Eichel has the speed to do so. Get him going in transition, whether it's on his own line, power play, however it may be. Get him in transition. Get him, that's going to give him a position to get a goal attempt. If you get perfect timing, you get to sneak it behind the skate of the goalie, or an assist. An assist or a goal, either way, just get something rolling. And the next step is probably going to be shaking up the lines. And you've kind of done that. Mark Stone went out. You've broken up the misfits a little bit to get a guy up there with Jack Eichel. You broke down the lines a little bit here and there. Maybe, whether you're shaking a player or shaking whole lines, get something going, get something unfamiliar, because I feel like that's kind of when you get that spark, is when things aren't working, but you take a risk and you shift some things, and the other team's not prepared for the lines or however it may be. That's kind of when you get things rolling, whether that's in a game where your team is unable to score a goal, or a stretch of games where you're unable to score a goal, and you shake up the lines and all of a sudden you get 3. I mean, we kind of saw it last night. They scored, 4 or 5 against the Preds, if I remember correctly. Or just shake up lines entirely and just get Eichel moving around in the lines, get him moving with different guys, see who he works best with. I think that's the best way to fix this current situation for the Vegas Golden Knights. We just need to see Jack Eichel step up. I think that's the biggest contributor in all this and getting them back in the right direction, is getting Eichel to perform as that number one guy. He's an elite level player, elite level scorer. He can pass the puck phenomenally. Get him playing at the top level. I'm not asking for Connor McDavid. I'm not asking for Alex Ovechkin, Sidney Crosby. I'm not asking for that. But let's get in that level of play what we expect. Get it in that all-star caliber and maintain it. If we can get that, the Vegas Golden Knights definitely should be in a playoff spot, top 3 seeds, not wild card. And I really think they can still win the Pacific Division. I think currently they sit as the number 1 at the time of recording this. But they're only like 2 games ahead of the wild card. Get Eichel rolling. It will make a huge difference through the remainder of the season. And guess what? If you get Eichel going, when Mark Stone returns, whether it's this year, near the end of the regular season, which is a possibility, or if you get him back in the playoffs, as long as you make the playoffs, or if it's next year. If you can get Jack Eichel going, that means when Mark Stone returns and you get these guys working, and Jack Eichel can maintain what he's playing at, and Mark Stone returns to what he was already playing at, this 1A, 1B could be a huge problem through the remainder of the NHL. But what do you guys think? What will it take for Jack Eichel to get back on track and the remainder of the team to get back on track? And do you think Jack Eichel is the most important piece for the Vegas Golden Knights to guarantee their spot in the playoffs? Comment all that down below. If you enjoyed this content, please like and subscribe. It truly means the world to me. And as always, I hope it's awesome today. Hope it means smile. Hope it means laugh. It's been really important to me. Affects my day in a great way, because every single day can be a great day if we all just put in the effort. And as always, you guys all be safe out there.